Good morning. Ms. McLeod, are you there?
I am here.
Yeah, Mr. Duck, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. We are on the record in 18CV27149, Byers versus Nichols and Company. I have Ms. McLeod on behalf of plaintiff, and it sounds like Ms. Duck on behalf of defendants, scheduled for a status conference this morning. Ms. McLeod, since you represent plaintiff, I'll let you start. From your perspective, where are we at?
So our efforts to resolve this short of needing judicial assistance have not been successful. You will likely see in the record that a number of things have been filed since our last status conference. From plaintiff's perspective, we're trying to get the pleadings in order such that we can then proceed on the merits of the case. We've got a couple of motions that have been filed that are pending, and we're getting ready to probably file another motion to strike some of the irrelevant pleadings. And so it would at least be my request that we set a hearing so that the court can consider those motions, the pending motions.
Seems like a reasonable approach. How soon do you anticipate having that additional motion filed?
By the end of the week.
Okay. And I'm assuming this is probably an hour or less type hearing?
Certainly less.
Okay. Let's see what I've got.
Well, and in fact, let me back up. Sorry. We have filed for a motion for a default judgment, and I don't think we need a hearing on that. I don't know. We filed an opposition to the motion to dismiss yesterday. That, frankly, I don't believe that we need a hearing on that, and the other is going to just be a motion to strike. So it may well be that we don't need a hearing on any of these.
Okay. Well, let me do this then. It's not quite far enough out. If we set another status conference for February 12th at 8:30, sounds like we would likely have any motions we might need to schedule a trial or a hearing for set and filed, and then I can attempt to resolve these others if we don't, in fact, need a hearing. And I'm just looking. I've got a motion to dismiss filed by defendants and your opposition, neither of which request a hearing. And then I have your motion for a default judgment against the estate. Are there any other pending motions that I'm missing?
No, there's no other pending motions. Just to clean up the pleadings, the only other thing we were going to file is a motion to strike any references in the pleadings. Everything that's been submitted on defendant's behalf has been submitted on behalf of, one, the estate through its personal representative, and then Ms. Dyke herself. There's nothing, so it's our position that the estate's already been declared in default, so any pleading submitted on its behalf should be disregarded. And at this point, frankly, Mr. Dyke has not appeared in the case. So that's what we're trying to get cleared up before trying to get to the merits of filing a motion for summary judgment or for judgment on the pleadings.
Okay. And I'm looking.
That's the only other motion we anticipate filing.
Okay. And that's when, like I say, depending on how defendants choose to respond, we may or may not need a hearing on that either. I'm looking at your motion for the limited judgment of default, and I'm a little concerned about the phrasing of paragraph number 2, which says Byers is entitled to possession of the property free of any claim, free of any estate title claim interest or lien of defendants and each of them and all persons claiming through or under defendants. I'm not sure that accurately reflects what the court's in a position to grant a default on at this point,
Sure.
given that defendants are part of that first claim.
Sure.
Defendants, individual defendants, I should be more clear.
Right. No, I understand perfectly. Plaintiff is certainly willing. We can submit another proposed judgment that makes it clear that it's just applying to the defendant, the estate.
And I think that would make it so I can resolve that issue.
Okay, we'll get that submitted today.
Ms. Dyke, does February 12th at 8:30 work for another status conference date for your calendar?
We're working on getting discovery from the plaintiff, and I think we're going to need more time than that.
But does that date work on your calendar for another status check?
I guess so.
Okay, and I don't anticipate that we're going to be doing anything substantive on that day. I just want to make sure that to the extent we need a hearing on any of these motions that have been filed, we get it scheduled and resolved, and if we can do that without a hearing, great. That'll be one way to take care of it. And then we'll check and see where we're at, and if we need some additional time for discovery, we can take it at that point. But I want to keep things moving forward to the extent that we can. Ms. McLeod, from your perspective, anything else that we need to address this morning?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Mr. Mustak, anything else you think we need to address this morning?
Not at this time.
Okay, we'll talk to you all on February 12th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that gets me to